the last guardian of the celestial blade, the ancient prophecy. Long before kings wore crowns, before castles touched the clouds, and before dragons ruled the skies, a great darkness threatened to consume the world. To stop it, the celestial gods forged a weapon unlike any other, a blade born from the heart of a dying star, the celestial blade. Its power could save kingdoms or destroy them. For centuries, the blade remained hidden, waiting for the one destined to wield it. Kael finds the blade. Far from the great cities, in a forgotten village at the edge of the world, lived a young blacksmith named Kael. He was not a king. He was not a warrior. He was simply a man trying to survive. But destiny rarely asks for permission. Deep beneath ancient ruins buried by time, Kael discovered something impossible. A sword glowing with celestial energy. The moment his hand touched the weapon, the earth trembled. Ancient runes awakened, and a power sleeping for 1,000 years stirred once again. Awakening of Malzor. In the darkest corner of the world, beneath mountains older than memory, a prison began to crack. Chains forged by gods shattered, ancient seals failed, and from the shadows emerged Emperor Malzor, the immortal tyrant, the destroyer of kingdoms, the lord of endless night. His red eyes opened for the first time in 1,000 years, and with a single breath, darkness spread across the land. Attack on the kingdom. The skies turned black. Dragons filled the heavens, cities burned, castles fell, entire armies vanished beneath waves of fire. People fled from their homes as Malzor's forces swept across the realm. Hope was disappearing. And with every victory, the Dark Emperor grew stronger. The world stood on the edge of destruction, gathering the heroes, knowing he could not face this evil alone. Kael began a dangerous journey. Along the way, powerful allies answered the call. Princess Lyra, the fearless warrior of the northern kingdoms. Archon, the legendary dragon rider who had once faced death itself, and others who believed the world was worth saving. Together, they stood upon the mountain cliffs, looking toward the horizon, toward destiny, toward war journey through the enchanted forest. Their path led through the enchanted forest, a place untouched by time, where ancient spirits watched from the shadows, where trees whispered forgotten secrets, and where magic flowed through every leaf and stone. But the forest was testing them. Every step revealed new dangers. Every choice brought them closer to their fate. Dragon Battle. As they crossed the northern mountains, the sky suddenly darkened. A roar echoed across the peaks. Then it appeared. A colossal dragon older than any living kingdom. Its wings covered the sun. Its fire melted stone. Its fury shook the mountains. Archon mounted his dragon and launched into the storm. High above the clouds, dragons clashed. Fire met steel. Magic met fury. And for the first time, Kael unleashed the true power of the celestial. The Sky Citadel. At the edge of the world stood the Sky Citadel, a fortress floating above eternal storms, the final stronghold of Emperor Malzor. Lightning struck its towers. Dark magic surrounded its walls. No army had ever conquered it. Yet the heroes marched forward, because there was no turning back. Final battle. The final battle had begun. The skies exploded with magic. The earth trembled beneath ancient power. Heroes and monsters clashed across the floating fortress. At the center of the chaos stood Kael and Malzor. Light against darkness. Hope against despair. The celestial blade burned brighter than ever before. And with every strike, the fate of the world hung in the balance. The guardians' sacrifice. But victory always demands a price. Kael finally understood the truth hidden within the prophecy. The celestial blade could defeat Malzor, but only if its guardian was willing to give everything. With one final act of courage, Kael released the full power of the blade. A wave of celestial light swept across the world. Darkness vanished, the skies cleared, and peace returned. When the light faded, the war was over. The world was saved, but its guardian was gone. Ending legends say the celestial blade still exists,